You are watching our Week 7 rewind of Varsity Xtra. And a couple stories, Mr. Odegard, to rehash quickly before we look at Week 8. Number one, obviously, the big matchup last week, Hamilton and Desert Vista. One that went to Hamilton. We keep asking this every week. Is this some sort of a statement win for the Huskies now? Are they in front and everybody's chasing them now?
Yeah, I know last week I think I said not yet, but the way Hamilton's playing now, I think we put them back up to number one in the rankings because Brophy struggled again against Westview. Didn't struggle, but they were only up by a touchdown in the third quarter. So Brophy hasn't really hit that extra gear except for one half against Mountain Point, while Hamilton, since those first two losses, has been very consistent and won games by double digits against Chandler and Desert Vista, and Desert Ridge. So I think Hamilton's back to being the favorite, but it's still close between them and Brophy.
Yeah, so not yet, but yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. That defense, by the way, continues to get better and better and better. That is going to be really tough to score on that Hamilton defense. Mm-hmm. The other aspect of some of this mess, there's been a lot of controversy with the AIA and the Max Preps and their new power rankings formula system. What's in it, what's not, nobody really knows. People want transparency. But it's something that actually you wrote in our Wednesday edition that's now on the website as well, is you feel like this is actually working out regardless of whatever the numbers are, that for a change you feel like they're actually getting it right.
Yeah, people are very worried about, the formula and transparency and all that stuff. But when you actually look at the rankings themselves, it seems like there's a lot of logic to where the teams are. And the best four teams in Division I are at the top, and the best four teams in Division II are at the top. And Saguaro's, I think, only number 7 in Division III, but they've lost 2 games. So you can kind of see why these teams are where they are, and it should shuffle out pretty good by the end of it. And I think even though we don't know exactly what the factors are, Max Preps has an algorithm that makes sense. And I think, by the end of it, we're going to have the right teams in the right spots pretty much.
Yeah, and again, it seems ridiculous that we're talking about whether point differential matters. Everybody should know that it doesn't matter. I understand there's some jumbling and confusion about why teams are moving up or down or not moving. Obviously, we talked about the forfeit. The way they calculate forfeits is something that could probably stand to be changed. Not yet a huge factor as far as we could tell, but it does exist. That's somewhat significant. So the bottom line is we basically don't know anything about the formula, but we think the formula works. And I guess the ends may or may not justify the means, but we're hopeful that we'll get there by the end of the season, and that there'll be at least logical explanations for why teams are where we are, and we think anyway that it's headed down in the right track.